What's going on, guys? We are back with another episode. So today I'm here to talk to you about Arccos because I've mentioned it a few times that it was integral in my journey to under par. And so I want to go through today exactly what it is and why I think it is the single best purchase any golfer can make right now to improve themselves. By the way, this review is not going to be overly technical. I'm going to explain just the basics, but the main point of this is to explain how Arccos helped me and why I think it's important for you. So first is, what is Arccos? So it's an app that connects with sensors on the bottom of your clubs, and it has GPS of the course you're playing. And so what happens is that every time you hit a shot, you keep your phone in your pocket while you're on the course, and the sensor on the bottom of the club signals to the phone that club hit that shot. Now you go through like a syncing process where you line up your clubs with the sensors so that the app knows exactly which club's hitting. So that's how it all goes down. So while you're playing, you can just keep your phone in your pocket, or you can pull your phone out in between shots, look at how you're doing, look at distances, and use the GPS. Now personally, I'm a big fan of the GPS, especially when I'm playing courses that I've never played before. I find the GPS to be one of the most valuable things. It has wind direction, temperature, elevation. It's one of the best GPSs I have ever seen and or used. Huge fan of the GPS. And I use the GPS in tandem with my Precision Pro because, especially for dialing in approach shots, I find it a good combo. Here's an example of when I'll use the GPS in Arccos with my rangefinder in tandem. As you can see, there's a bunker in front. The green's kind of dipped back there. So I'm gonna laser the flag real quick. So the flag says 97. Now I'll go to the app and I'll see where from here to 97 that is, and what I have in front and what I need to carry in order to make that shot happen. Boom, and as you can see, we dialed that in. And so what I'll use the map for in conjunction with the Precision Pro is to see, okay, so I was out there, I wanted to see what's happening here, where is this bunker in relation to the start of the green, and then how much of the green do I have to carry in order to get close to this flag? Or if I even want to get close to this flag because of other danger. So that's where I find using a rangefinder in conjunction with Arccos is a huge benefit. Now, Arccos is pretty good at picking up just your main shot. Sometimes it'll pick up double hits, or if you bring, multiple clubs with you to a certain location, like if you're in a cart and cart path only, things like that. Sometimes it'll register double shots, but those are easy, quick edits. It is a bit tedious at first, but you kind of get used to the workflow of it. So, now I'm at a point where it's automatic, and I find, honestly, it's not wrong very often. So on course, as you can see, a ton of benefit. And once you start playing, I think it takes like 5 or 6 rounds, and Arccos will start calculating your distances for each club based on how you've been doing. And it'll start giving you stats and recommendations for when you're playing different holes. What I have found, and from playing 200 rounds this year and playing with a lot of different people, most people have no idea what their actual distances of their clubs are. And there have been so many times when I've been on the tee with people and they're picking a club out of ego as opposed to picking the right club. There's no shame in hitting a 6 or a 5 iron instead of hitting a 7 iron. But some guys just feel this like macho need to try and muscle something that they know they can't hit there because they have it in their head that their 7 iron goes way further than it does. And so what I find is it brings a bit of realism, and you're gonna shoot better scores by knowing this information. So there's no shame. Better scores, that's what you want. And with the club recommendations, which is also really great, is that it factors in all the temperature, wind, elevation things into your club recommendation. So that's really cool because sometimes you may think you may actually have the right distance, but it could still be wrong. So I think that's just super valuable all around. Shot tracking, GPS, all that is all great. But I was still very underwhelmed when I first got it. And that's because initially, the way they did the insights on your stats, they would rank you kind of like, they'd give you a handicap per category, and it was good, but the insights just weren't like enough, in my opinion. Like, it wasn't this like, it just felt a bit overhyped for what it was. However, what they switched to in August, when they switched to strokes gained stats, that completely changed the game, in my opinion, and is what is made Arccos now the most important tool any golfer should have. So if you watch the PGA Tour, you may have heard of this thing called ShotLink. And ShotLink is essentially the tracking of all the shots a tour pro would play during their round, and they can go and even just us, we can go look on the PGA website and see their strokes gained, their stats, all those things. Well, what Arccos has done now is essentially given us normal golfers the equivalent of ShotLink. You know, like we can now see our strokes gained in every category. But where I think they even take it up another notch, Arccos I think has the largest data set of golf shots in the world. And so what they've done for the strokes gained now is you can take whatever your current handicap is and plot your strokes gained against where you want to be. And that to me is the game changer. So if you're at 15 and you want to get to a 10, well, guess what? You can plot yourself against a 10 handicap and see exactly what part of your game sucks and how to get to a 10. And for me, my goal is to get to a tour level stats on Arccos. So right now, I'm sitting at a 2 on Arccos, and I'm plotting against a Tour Pro, which I think is just a +6. And it's showing me exactly the exact things I need to practice. This exact comparison and this exact strokes gain data that is actually crafting my entire off-season schedule. So let me take you through my data and explain to you how I'm using it to train. So you can have it so you see your overall game, and then you can go within that and check out each individual category, and it gives you insights there. And the amount of detail you get when you look at the categories is just incredible. Like for driving, it'll show you what your strokes gained is for like dogleg right, dogleg left, and then straight. Apparently I'm not so good at straight holes. All right, so let's dive into how I'm using these stats now. So if you look, I'm actually really good at driving comparative to a tour player, which is great. So I'm like right there on par, and honestly, with the training I'm doing, I can only see that improving. So that's great to know. But my approach, my short game and my putting, I am a flaming pile of garbage. Oh my gosh. And you wanna know here's how bad I am at approach. So because I can look at the stats, I can see that when it comes to strokes gained approach from the fairway, I lose shots. I'm losing shots when I hit the fairway. That's how much I suck. I gotta fix that. And where I'm losing the most amount of strokes is from 100 to 150 yards. So what am I doing to fix that? Well, the course I'm at, Cultus Lake Golf Club, which I unveiled in my first episode, this is gonna be my home training spot for the whole winter. And the reason for that is this is an executive course. This course is short. It's a lot of par 3s, a lot of par 4s, short par 4s. It's basically like I can play the whole thing with irons. And the reason for that is because my approach is so garbage. I want to hit those kind of shots as much as possible because I am done wasting shots from the fairway, guys. From the fairway. That's inexcusable. And if I've gotten to the level I've gotten to while losing strokes from the fairway, imagine if I clean that up. What's my scoring potential at that point? This place also has a full-length practice hole, so I can basically hit my 100 to 120 yard shot like a bajillion times. And there's 3 different pins, which is unreal. So gonna dial that in because again, as you can see, easy fix, but definitely need to fix. Now, we look at the stats of my short game, I'm actually fairly decent around the greens, but the 20 to 50 yard range, that's where the garbage comes out. So gotta practice that. Again, I'm gonna get plenty of reps here doing that. Sand saves, I'm okay, but as you can see, again, a lot of work to be done, and I know the bunkers are a bit of my nemesis, so I will abdicate the fact that I definitely need to improve on those. The other area where I am 100% a flaming pile of garbage is putting. So you saw my first episode, and it revolves around putting, and that's what I'm putting the biggest focus on for this first month. I'm losing over 2 shots in just putting. That just can't happen. That just can't happen. So I need to grind as hard as I can to improve that. Because if I pick up 2 shots there and the 2 shots I'm losing on my approach, like that is a monumental change in my game. That immediately makes me very competitive. And so like that's so cool to know. Like think of how much time is spent, at the range or practicing, working on things that actually aren't benefiting your game. And so this is why, to me, this is the most powerful tool, because I am designing my entire off-season schedule around my Arccos data. I chose this course, I chose this entire practice scenario around my Arccos data, because I know if I clean these things up, the stats don't lie. And if I can clean that up and get it together, like when we go into competition season come April, I'm gonna be dangerous. Now, how can all this help you? I understand I'm a little insane when it comes to golf. I'm self-employed, so for me, I can basically spend as much time as I want to work on golf and improve. And as you're seeing, I'm investing a lot of time, money, and effort to do so. But where I think Arccos actually helps everyone else more is that when you have limited time to practice and improve, you have regular life coming at you all the time. So why not have something that tracks when you do go out and play to tell you exactly what you need to practice, so that when you have that spare 30 to 45 minutes where you can actually work on some stuff, you know what to work on. In my opinion, it's a no-brainer. This is something for all golfers. You need to know where you're at with your game and what you need to improve on. And if you're not tracking that, then honestly, you probably have misconceptions about things you're good at versus you're bad. And that misalignment is causing you to play poorly. So why not figure out what it is so you can play better? Because I found that when you play better, you enjoy it more. So I just think it makes sense. Like, get the ego out of the way, know exactly what's wrong, fix it, play better golf. Super simple. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my training for today. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.